When is God working behind the scenes in Providence? We don't really know for sure. As a matter of fact, Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse number 11 says, time and chance happen to them all. Sometimes things just happen. But then we do know from Scripture also that there are times when God most definitely is working behind the scenes and placing people in certain situations for a defining moment in history. In Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 1, there God looks forward and He looks into the future and He names a leader that's about 150 years away from being born, calls him by name, and explains that this man will be His servant. Now it's rather interesting over in 2 Chronicles chapter 36, beginning at verse number 22, there he gives details about what this man Cyrus will do, how he will release the people and how he will help them in the rebuilding of the temple. God has that ability to look forward, and He says, I'm going to use this man. He's going to have the right heart, and he's going to accomplish my will. I'm very impressed when I look at the book of Esther. And the book of Esther is filled with examples of the providence of God. And in Esther chapter 4 and verse number 14, here we have a situation where Mordecai comes to Esther and says, Esther, you've got to intervene on behalf of your people. You need to go to the king. Now that was a dangerous thing to do. If the king hadn't called her in, it could cost her her life just to go into the presence of the king. And he says, I know this is dangerous, but if you don't do it, somebody else will. Somebody will deliver God's people. And then he makes this statement at the end of verse 14, yet who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this. You know, I think we need to always be aware of the fact, God may have placed us right where we are for the purpose of bringing glory and honor to Him. Now the reality is we have that responsibility to live a faithful life, to do our very best to be an example to other individuals. But even in a greater sense, God may have placed you in a particular place at a particular time for a special mission that will be fulfilled when you live the faithful Christian life. Oh, we need to revel in the fact that if you're a faithful child of God, God cares for you and God intervenes on your behalf. Join us again next week for your Daily 180.